Welcome everybody to the King's Quest game that everybody loves. That's right, Roberta Williams' masterpiece, King's Quest 6.
And Jane Jensen.
And Jane Jensen, who went on to create Gabriel Knight, another Sierra.
Gabriel Knight?
It's another point-and-click series.
Yeah. Basically, Jane Jensen started out as a student of Roberta and then went on to make her own series, basically.
So is Gabriel Knight like a female knight, I'm guessing?
We'll see when I get to that. For now, King's Quest 6. Here today, gone tomorrow.
We're getting to that.
So basically, we're starting off with the floppy disk version of the game. Why? Because the original floppy disk version actually has a different intro.
This one of a kingdom called Daventry.
This was back before they got the professional voice actors, so it's still Sierra employees voicing this intro. So.
Alexander, here you are. You're not still thinking about Cosima, are you?
So yeah,
by the way he's moving his hands, I'm pretty sure he's still thinking about her.
Yeah, basically all the characters in this version of the intro move like they have spasms constantly. Again, limitations.
Oh, it is early 3D models.
Basically, this is a floppy disk game trying to do CD quality animations, so you can kind of guess that wasn't it was a little too ambitious.
Hey, it's a floppy disk with actual sound, though.
Yeah, it took a total of 10 floppy disks for this game to actually come out on floppy disks, because this is a huge game for the time, trust me.
Yes, back in the day when it took multiple discs to play a game.
It still happened to this day, remember, Joba?
360.
The Xbox 360 version of Final Fantasy 13 got like 6 discs or something.
Free. Oh, Jesus
Free.
Christ.
I mean, hell, even the Xbox 360 version of GTA 4 and 5 had that.
Yeah,
problem.
Lost Odyssey by Sakaguchi actually has 4 discs.
True.
I'm acting.
Okay. Don't worry, Dwebs. After this, we'll see the intro with actual voice actors doing the voices. I thought I showed this for the sake of comparison. It will be a nice little extra thing to show.
Oh Jesus!
Isn't this beautiful?
1992. Give it a pass. Okay, basically the story is, after their whole 2 minutes of meeting each other, Alexander is still stricken with Cosima. The problem is that he doesn't know where to find her because nobody has even heard of the Land of the Green Isles, which is where she told us she was from in King's Quest V. But just like in King's Quest 2, remember in King's Quest 2 where the mirror showed Graham where to find his fiancée? Well. Like father, like son, the magic mirror told us where Cosima is. She's apparently trapped in a tower. Gee, that sounds familiar.
Is there a door in this game that can send you to Space Quest?
No, Dwibs. Unfortunately, no. That was
Don't worry, dudes. We'll get to Space Quest sooner or later.
1992 CGI on a floppy disk, kind of. Yeah.
And a yo-ho-ho on a galleon ship.
It looks about on par of Food Fight, except this one actually has an excuse for looking like this.
Yeah.
No, Pedro. This still looks just a bit better than Food Fight.
Wow. That's sad.
The audio quality is kind of on par with Final Fantasy VII, it sounds like.
Again, don't worry, Dwebs, when we get to...
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII's a bit better on the quality.
As the ship nears the shore, day turns to night and the sea turns violent.
Okay, so basically he managed to find the Land of the Green Isles. Except the problem is that the currents all around the Land of the Green Isles are incredibly strong and they kill people. That's why a lot of people haven't come or gone from the Land of the Green Isles. So basically, the ship wrecked.
Makes you wonder how they got her home to begin with.
Magic, remember, Jova? Crispin magically teleported her. Crispin magically teleported her there.
King's Quest.
You'd think they would have used magic to teleport themselves to there.
Yeah. So yeah, unlike the previous 5 games where Roberta Williams single-handedly wrote and directed the games, this one she had a partner called Jane Jensen. Basically,
and William D. SCWRM.
Yeah, this is the art designer.
William D. Skirvin.
Yeah. And the composer is Chris Brayman. I don't know who this guy is because I don't think he's ever done anything before or since. I never could really find anything. Basically, Jane Jensen was the main script writer for this game. And she pretty much helped.
He also made Laser Suit. He also composed for Laser Suit Larry, Quest for Glory 2, if I recall, and a couple of other games. But basically, yeah, he sticked around with Sierra.
Team quality assurance, one person.
Okay, so that was the floppy disk intro, which has text, as you can see.
Alexander awakens to find himself on an unfamiliar beach. For a moment, he is too dazed to remember how he got here.
You got wrecked, mate.
Then he does remember the shipwreck, the sea. Just as he had seen his men safely into the lifeboat, a gigantic wave picked him up and tossed him overboard into the churning sea. That was the last he'd seen of his crew. Debris from the shipwreck is scattered along the shore, but of the lifeboat and his men, there is thankfully no trace. He can only hope and pray that the lifeboat survived the current, and that his men made their way safely back to Daventry. But where is Daventry, for that matter? Where is he? And how will he ever find Cosima now?
Who cares? At least for once, Daventry isn't
Check out
in
the
trouble.
CD version's opening. Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
By the way,
so
Pedro,
the CD version took advantage of the fact that here we go, the actual logo in the CD version. They actually took an actual mountain and turned it into the logo, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Basically,
Baz-
basically, the CD version took advantage of Microsoft Video 1.1, aka video files. Believe it or not, believe it or not, there was a time.
Kingdom of Cold Daventry.
Believe it or not, there was a time when video files didn't exist in computers.
Yay, actual narration.
Alexander, here you are.
So yeah, we actually got professional voice. And guess who voices Alexander?
The guy from Beauty and the Beast.
That's right, Robbie Benson voices Alexander.
You've got to pull yourself together. After all, you only met her that once.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, love at first sight. That's just ridiculous.
No.
Wait.
Even heard of it. It's like
So yeah, as you can hear, now I can properly explain what I meant back in our King's Quest 3 playthrough.
I'll try.
Robbie Benson gives Alexander a soft-spoken voice, and so I get the feeling that the moron who played him in the King's Quest 3 remake, I guess he was trying to imitate Robbie Benson's performance, but
It didn't even sound like he was trying to imitate it.
I don't know. It's just it's the best theory I can come up with for why he sucks so hard.
No. Here's an easier explanation. He just sucks.
Okay, fine.
It's like trying to explain Kellen Lutz.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Weird. I thought that this was the game where we play as the mother or something.
No,
but I guess
that's the next
That's
game.
King's Quest 7.
That's King's Quest 7.
And then in King's Quest 8, you play as some guy.
Wait, we
Just
don't
some
play as
guy
any of the
just some
clans?
guy.
No, trust me, Joe, but that's only the tip of the iceberg of that game.
Yep.
Wait. There's a game where you don't play as the Grahams, but that seems rather,
Trust me, Jova.
betraying.
Trust me, Jova. That's only the first bad sign. Trust me. There's a lot more to cover.
Well, then I can't wait till we get to that game, commentary-wise.
Navigate by the stars.
Oh, Alexander, if you really go.
The stars will guide me.
Honestly,
Well,
Mother,
actually, that's an actual real thing. Back then, the sailors used to guide themselves from the stars. That was an actual thing. So yeah.
Remember, Dweebs, it's what LeBlanc told to Ether Graham in Lost in Space.
I love how Alexander acts like nothing bad has ever happened to their family. He's like, oh, what's the worst that could
Okay, now
happen,
Beach
Mother?
reminds me instead of Birdemic.
Okay, allow me to explain. Okay, the reason the video, this is an actual video file that we're an actual FMV, kind of. The reason it looks like this on the YouTube is because I'm playing the game exactly as it was in its original resolution. This video was rendered in 3020 times 240 resolution, which is basically
Like a Sega CD game.
yeah. That's because at the time, Dwibs, all PC games had this resolution. You have to remember that back then, there was no such thing as HD or, widescreen or all that shit.
Prince Alexander sailed the known sea.
Because trust me, if I showed the actual, because this is an actual AVI file on the CD that we're watching right now. The problem is that if I just displayed the AVI file normally, it would look stretched and it would look awfully pixelated. So I decided, no, I'll just show in the original resolution.
I remember the days when you had the AVI files literally listed on the disc. It's from my first game I ever played, Sonic CD.
Sorry, Alexander, I can't hear you. The sea is a bit too high.
Alexander,
Well, the sea is a high crashing place!
What was that?
The sea, a high crashing tide.
So yeah, it's a nice, interesting difference between the two intros. I thought I would show both just for the sake of comparison.
So I take it we're going to be playing the CD version?
Of course, that's the version that most people grew up with.
Sorry, Dwibs, guess you're out of a job again.
Yeah, well.
No. Me and Dwibs love the King's Quest 6 narrator. Don't, we're fine. The King's Quest 6 narrator is awesome. I slightly prefer John Bell a bit, but this guy's awesome too.
Which one's John Bell?
The King's
The
Quest
one from the VGA remake. So.
Yeah, the one from the fan remix. Look at that 3D rotating and shit.
Oh,
I know.
They
yeah.
rotate right out of the screensaver.
Believe it or like Spoonie said in his FMV Hell reviews, back then it was so mind-blowing to people to just see movies on their computer games, you know.
King's Quest 6.
That's why a lot of FMV games were made back in the early 90s, because, you know, it was such a huge novelty. But of course it didn't take long for the novelty to wear off, and people started to realize that FMV games were gigantic pieces of shit. Except for the Wing Commander series, but that's a different story.
Command and Conquer.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, see, that if I recall, it's Command & Conquer. Yeah, that's a tradition that kept going still today. One of the recent games that fucking Tim Curry is one of the generals.
Yeah.
It was that was Red Alert 3. Even Command and Conquer 4, the last game in the series, did that. Not Tim Curry, but
Even
cutscenes.
some of the
2010.
Civilization games had that. One of the if I recall, one of the Civilization games had George Takei as the Chinese commander.
Yeah, Takei was even in Red Alert 3. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Maybe I'm getting confused. Whatever.
Okay, now we get to hear the narrator recite what we were saying.
Alexander awakens to find himself on an unfamiliar beach. He is too dazed to remember how he got here.
Okay.
Then he does remember the shipwreck.
Okay.
Okay, the reason you have that King's Quest 6 title at the top is because I'm playing this on Windows 3.1, which was the Windows this game was designed for.
Wow, Pedro, you still got Windows 3.1 computer after all these years.
No, I'm using DOSBox for that, obviously.
DOSBox, an emulator.
Basically an emulator for DOS, and you can actually install Windows 3.1 on it, so...
Windows 3.1, weren't those the days?
Okay, so let's start off... I would like to inform everybody, for first, that I'm actually... playing I'm playing the CD, the Windows version of this, because there were two different things for the CD of King's Quest 6. You could, if you played on DOS, you would play in 320 whatever resolution, but if you played it on Windows, you would double the resolution and you will get better character portraits in the conversations. So that's the version I'm playing.
Ocean appears calm, but there's a dimpling pattern to the surface which
So yeah, in typical King's Quest fashion, a detailed narration for everything, you guys know the drill. So let's start off by showing, actually no, I'm gonna get the
Go in the
first.
water.
Don't worry,
You know
Brad,
what I'm
don't-
what I'm amazed at? You know what I'm amazed at?
What?
But
Is the fact that Alexander is the only one who survived. I mean, seriously, he and his
Main
father
character
died, so
immunity.
he's-
Main character, you mean?
Yeah, I know that, but I mean,
that's saying
it's
a lot
just
considering the Grahams, the Graham family can die so easily.
precisely my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they fall like 1 foot, they die.
So basically, we recovered our own.
Unless they're a girl.
So basically, we recovered our Daventry insignia ring and a copper coin. So those
Okay.
are our two first items. Actually, Dibs, I think I'll show off the water depth later on. But for now, let's just move on to the game.
Okay.
So, we start off in a mystical forest island. Never done that before.
And then the magical tide caught Graham even when he was on dry land and tugged him out to sea.
Quick, Alexander, call Gilligan. Maybe he can help you get off this isle.
Or get Damon Lindelof to write you off the
Own
island. Oh, no,
shop
wait.
pay.
Okay, hello, Arabic Town.
An old
Porn
beggar
shopper.
selling his wares in the village. He offers a variety of lamps.
Huh. Wasn't expecting
What
a
is this?
town.
A quest
here.
for glory?
Quest for Kings.
Old lamps for new! Warning, this may contain the devil if you get one of them!
Yeah.
You're actually not far off, Jova.
Wait, really? Oh my god.
Hold on. Yeah. Basically, he
He what?
yeah. Basically, he has new lamps for sale, and he trades them for old lamps. Yeah. Basically, he's hoping that maybe if in one of those old lamps he'll find a genie.
No, don't. The genie will trap you in the lamp.
For 500 years.
That's a bottle. Lamps
I
actually.
guess you'll live forever?
For 500 years.
Alright, so let's go into the pawn shop, why not? Maybe we can try to find out exactly where we are.
Okay. Knock knock, motherfucker.
I love this guy. The voice actor playing this guy, just listen to him. He's kind of special. Just listen to him.
Okay.
Good day, merchant. Can you tell me what land this is?
By the moon's light, what a question! You must have been out too long in the sun.
I am so racist!
Well, perhaps. I was in a shipwreck, you see. My crew and I were trying to reach the land of the Green Isles. I think, or at least I hope, my men got away safely in the lifeboats.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I see. You must pardon my incredulity, but it has been so long since we have had a foreign visitor.
It sounds like this guy's trying to do a James Earl Jones impression.
Yeah, and I've got a horrible feeling that there's magical tides that will. Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure. I guess this is where Medengar got the bear he wanted to give out as a
Yeah,
present.
yeah,
to
just
one
look at that
person.
fucking bear.
Yeah, indeed. I got the bear from an island off the coast of Switzerland.
Mr. On
which I
guard?
fear. Yeah?
How did you survive the currents tugging you out to sea?
It's quite simple. I was rich enough to have a high superpowered speedboat, and I also got passage on the Black Pearl.
How did the ship not get wrecked?
It's the Black Pearl, of course.
Well,
Anyway.
wait, the Black Pearl always gets
Yeah,
wrecked.
Pedro.
Oh, okay. Basically, he just told us, guess what, guys? We just shipwrecked into the Isle of the Crown on the land of the Green Isles. We actually happen to be standing on the same island as Casima is. So, lucky.
Good luck.
Alright.
That is where to look.
Alright then. Well, let's go hook up then.
Alright, so she's in the castle, so that's where we'll go.
Wow, that was easy.
Good day, merchant. What can you tell me about the land?
Yeah,
of the
just make sure
Good day.
make sure you don't go into any water, swamp, spider, weird person who loves Graham Vine thing, etc., etc.
And why the crown has not done something about it is beyond me. But then
Okay, so basically there's some civil conflicts around the islands of the land of the Green Isles, and
We're
the
gonna say
there
civil
is.
war.
well, it's not exactly a war, more like civil conflicts, shall we say? But we're gonna learn more about that as we move along.
It hasn't broken out into war yet.
So what are you gonna do next?
So this
have
is-
all,
this
the,
is- so
have
this
all
is-
the Grahams signed the Royalty Registration Act?
I'm taking a look at the
I
various.
didn't know you read that comic, Dwibs.
No, I haven't read it, but I have heard of it.
What are you going to do, Pedro?
Basically, I'm looking at the items he has on the counter because these are the only ones I can buy by the price with a copper coin, which is the only money I have.
yes, the painter's brush. It was well used by one of the island's best painters.
Well, then again, this isn't necessarily an Arabic town.
Okay, Jov, I need to ask you this since you're actually an African American. Is this guy racist?
Have you an interesting
Well, that's the weird thing. It's like, well, this seems to be more of an Arabic town, and
Yeah,
yet
this
this guy's
seems to
going
be
for an
more
African.
Middle Eastern / Indian stereotype.
And yet,
Like,
and yet this guy-
like for
hold on,
example,
hold on,
Great
hold on.
Tiger from Punch Out.
Anywho, as I was saying, this guy does sound African, and well, no, it doesn't sound racist. But that's what surprises me is that an African in an Arabic town. That seems a bit weird, but
All
whatever.
right, so let's give him our copper coin for one of those objects.
Maybe
Sure.
it's Egypt. You know, Egypt kind of follows Arabic traditions, doesn't it?
Ha! I'm not Scottish. I'm Egyptian. Yeah,
No.
nothing offensive here.
Ooh, I can imagine it when Alexander asks, "Is this of any value to you at all?" He looks at it and goes like, no," and then just kills Alexander.
Okay, so now I can pick any of these 4 objects.
Yeah, how friendly.
I'll take the nightingale, the mechanical nightingale.
Okay.
Sing, sweet nightingale.
Your coin is well spent. Remember, this is a pawn shop. I am always willing to take back my own goods in trade.
Exactly. So basically,
It sounds like
I can come back here anytime and trade the nightingale for another one of those other free items, and can I keep trading back and back and back whenever I need one of the other items.
Convenient.
So let's
Why-
take.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. We actually met someone who's nice in a King's Quest game.
Well, it is a pawn
So
shop.
naturally,
Teo.
he's going to be
Well,
he's going to be killed later
well,
on.
Teo, it's a pawn shop. That's how pawn shops work.
I know. I think
Damn.
Okay, so
no.
this is the castle where Princess Cosima is.
Alright, let's go meet his girlfriend.
In the next part, though. First, let's actually see what happens here.
2 guards take their stance in front of the castle doors.
Bob, 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 bob.
Oh yeah, and one thing about this kingdom, it doesn't have guards. It has guard dogs. Get it?
Of
Guard
course.
dogs.
What don't you mean, watchdogs?
I wonder who's gonna handle that game for the channel. Not
Oh,
it.
please. I don't
Not-
want it. It's
Not
too
me.
boring for me.
I honestly, I got bored after 2 hours. Honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Teo here. Anyway, see you for the next part,
Well, I'm
everybody.
already doing GTA.
So,
Quick!
so yeah, everybody. In the next part, we find our plot. See you, everybody.
Yay.
See ya.
Yes.
Yeah.